not only has placed incredibly well recently, but just in the LATAM Stage 4, they were the first place team. So big expectations for this roster going into not only this entire tournament, but through the Swiss play. They're kind of the ones to watch right now from LATAM.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got a chance to look up over towards that LATAM finals between them and Loops, and honestly, TLE, I mean, they look so good. The hard points, I mean, they were a little bit close, but you look back towards something like the Control, for example, and this team is absolutely dominant. So TLE Esports, really looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table here against Standpoint Gaming. But Standpoint is a kind of another conversation point in itself, right? A team all the way from China, the third place team, I believe, from that region, and I don't really know what to expect from this team. They could kind of be that dark horse roster that we always love to see.
Yeah, 100%, and really kind of where that story starts to kind of show itself, right, is that hardpoint prowess that they've shown in the Chinese region. They haven't had the best record overall in terms of congruent map win-loss, but for the times that they have been able to kind of take a map over, they have looked extremely good. So realistically, just as it is with every tournament that we see, you know, it's not really about who's better on paper, it's about who's going to show up when the moment matters.
Alrighty, well, there's all the preamble done, folks. We're not going to be talking about all the context moving forward. It's time to get into the games. This is the map you and I were talking about earlier on today, Alex. Summit hardpoint to kick off this best of 5. Hardpoint, generally speaking, something we know TLE are proficient at, although, of course, as I said, Luke's played them very close in that grand final of the LATAM finals. So we'll see whether or not that can be something that maybe Standpoint can put together as well. But for the moment, it is going to be TLE Esports in control of the hill. And this is what you love to see. One of the reasons that I love COD Mobile Esports. It's going to be the operators. They're coming out to play already.
And I mean, you pop the 3 pieces, you fly out of the hill, that forces Standpoint to spawn all the way back across the map. So now it's going to be a long hike back over towards this hill. And on the inside, you have 3 people here. You also have a few streaks to work with and more specialists on the cards for TLE. So nice opportunity for a break from Standpoint, but realistically, TLE, they've got numbers at the hill, and they're winning the gunfights.
Yeah, absolutely. Henchuan trying to come around the back line. He's going to get shut down there by Jisoo. TLE now very happy with the way that hill went. I mean, what, they got basically a full 60 off the back of it. They give away, like, basically the last 10 seconds or so. That's scrap time. That's what we call that here in Hardpoint. And they have control of the rotation as well. If you're Standpoint, you've got to be careful that this game doesn't start to run away from you. But the good thing, again, as we said about the specialists being in here, you can use them to break a hardpoint like this. Do not be surprised if Standpoint come out now, bring these specialists out to play, or maybe perhaps they don't even need them. The kills now starting to go down along that icy area, and they're actually going in favor of Standpoint here.
Yeah, Claw comes out, you're able to pop a couple, but realistically what ends up happening there is a pinch play happens where you get a split spawn across the map, you get a north and south side pinch that allows you to get back in towards the hill. The gunfights go the way of Standpoint, they break in well, and that's one of those things where you have to be careful. If you get out on that rotation early towards that next hard point, if you lose that initial gunfight against the other team as they're hitting, you're going to spawn across the map, and you're probably going to lose at least 20-30 seconds on the refrag.
Well, they are going to be in for the time. We said this was a really important hard point coming out from Standpoint, and indeed they've held it basically the entirety of the time thus far. One more couple of players maybe going to get this from the middle of the map. TL will be one of them. He's going to find one. Not going to get a second there. Nice shutdown coming out from Guagua, and this back spawn continues to hit here for TLE, so they might as well go for it, even as part of the rotation towards Nuke. Tio trying for that time. He will not get it. I'll tell you what, Guagua's done a lot of effort there inside that hill. Gets a ton of kills to take time away from TLE that they otherwise would have wanted. But now we go towards the middle hard point here. It should be Standpoint that touches first for this one. Let's see if they can hold it.
A few players inside of the point. KRM going to be out. 1 kill, traded back immediately, though, so Standpoint, no advantage around the hill at the moment as TLE starts to make their way through. You see Swan found the staircase over on the right-hand side. A couple inside the hill right now. This is a great break here from Standpoint. You've got so many players around the outside, but the reinforcement spawning close from TLE, so they're going to be able to get into this point quick.
It's also up top of the War Machine. This thing is an absolute beast, and you're seeing right now why it's doing so much damage towards the opponent. Finds out Ninja One there back in spawn. Now he's going to have to get involved with just his regular weapon up top. Open in lane now. Because maybe Swan can make his way back towards the point, and indeed he does with that kill versus Shisu. So Standpoint now going to be back in for the back 15 seconds here. A lot of time that they can grab away, and this is a very close hard point thus far. Killfeed going to be lighting up blue here momentarily, and for TLE Esports, well, you might as well go for this time. I mean, why not? The next hill, Alex, not that far away as we reset the rotations.
Now, just a skip outside, but you can see all those blue arrows making their way towards the point of the moment. Realistically, if Chuan can get this flank on the back end, you can cut down that last TLE player and set yourself up for a good chunk of time. Nobody currently contesting inside of that point for the time being. However, now it's going to be a 3v3 gunfight towards the front.
Here we go. Chuan looking for it. Predator Missile does come down from Suwon, so that's Saucy out of the picture here for the moment. Gravity Vortex Gun are going to be utilized, and this is the beautiful thing about the Gravity Vortex Gun. It comes out to play, it offers real zone control, it keeps TLE away from the hard point for the moment. They've got to walk through or find another route around, and this just slows up the entire offensive effort from TLE. But look at those arrows on the minimap here, Alex. You can already see TLE, they're starting to rotate around towards the next hill.
I mean, this has been gorgeous from a standpoint this entire game, realistically speaking. I mean, they've had multiple team hits where they've been able to pair utility together. They've comboed things perfectly to allow them to break early and often. This is a side of TLE we haven't really seen. They're facing a lot of adversity from the standpoint roster at the moment. This is really a make or break moment here. They're going to need either a full 60 here on this hill, like they were basically able to get the last time through, or at least keep it to a 40-20 split.
Yeah, this has to be a huge hill from TLE. You've got to make sure you win this one. And already you saw, I think that was a Sparrow coming out from Tatio that does get shut down. Guaga going to be responsible for it. Tries to pull out the core and does get shut down there. From the backline, TLE still spawning in, but Time wants to spawn trap them in, keep their teammates safe inside this hill, and he is doing such a stellar job. But finally, now going to get shut down. Back towards the hill we go. Trades galore, and it's Guagua sitting inside at the moment. This is worst case scenario for TLE, because if you're a Standpoint, you can just sit inside, keep on spawning around the backline. You saw an Annihilator coming up to play, and there are just so many hills going in favor of Standpoint at this moment, Alex. I mean, look, even if you don't get a ton of time on this hill, if you're a Standpoint, you are fine with this because you have kept a hill that TLE rotate for.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say that exact point you brought up. You're only holding them back. You're just wasting time off the clock, allowing yourself to get back, control the opposite of the map to where you're only allowing them to get maybe 25, 30 at the most off the back end of this hill. You're just getting the scrap time. Now here's the kind of the side where TLE has to flip this narrative around. Last time they were the ones that held on strong. There was a split push that Standpoint was able to execute on. TLE going to be the ones here through the front. You've already got one from Time. Time pops a three-piece and knocks them all away.
I mean, I could see that kind of formulating on the minimap, right? You can see Time just waiting there patiently in the corner, knew exactly where they were going to coming from, and really just needed to literally waste time for his team to make their way back in towards the hill. And while, to be fair, he does indeed do that, the back spawns are going to be in for TLE Esports. This is a chance for redemption here from them, and they're winning the vast majority of the gunfights as well. Shisu going to be inside the hill here, looking for the gunfights, finds out the ammunition, and has to go to the melee. And goodness me, is a melee champion inside the hardpoint, finds a kill. Unfortunately, it is a short-lived victory as Bird comes back for the double, and Standpoint now fighting for the back 30.
And every time TLE is able to grab and gravitate themselves towards the hard point, Standpoint are just able to be there. The reinforcements, the team hits, there's always one extra player ready for a challenge. And no matter where the TLE side is spawning, it's always just chaos and eruption from Standpoint. If they can continue this out through the next couple of rotations, maybe even the next hill, they could take this map one victory.
And again, you know, we have to stress here, this is not necessarily how we expected this to go whatsoever. You look at the records of somebody like TLE in the regular season over towards the Snapdragon Pro Series, they were 15-1 in hardpoint. They lost a single hardpoint, but again, and there is a caveat here, the differential is not that nice to look at. So we know that there are weaknesses to exploit, and it feels like at this point in the game, Standpoint doing a stellar job at doing exactly that. Can they close things out, though? They are 35 seconds away from victory here. They're in control of P1, and they are roaming the hill, picking every single TLE player off.
It's just the communications are on point. Everybody understanding where that next gunfight is going to be coming from. Finally, TLE has the man advantage in the middle of the map, so might be able to equate that into some crucial hill time towards the end of this game here. It's not over just yet. Standpoint still needs to be very careful and execute upon the game plan they've got it so far. TLE, very much a possibility to keep this game alive.
Yeah, for sure. Those kills coming in most certainly will help, but TLE need to ensure the rotation is theirs. And again, you can already see the blue arrows on the minimap there, making sure that they do have some modicum of control. They're actually going to go for the time here. This is a gambit for the last 10 seconds, and as Guaga comes in for the double, is that something they regret? Because now they've given away that rotation towards TLE, a shot for them to stay in the game.
We saw the grab bomb the last time that cut down the hill rotation from TLE. This time, though, TLE is going to be on the north side of the map, holding things down. You've got a few players now making their way forward, especially Chuan, as he's now taking the first gunfight. Challenge, gunfight one, second one around the corner. Contestation there, TLE are in.
Indeed they are. Still, though, they're going to continually face the pressure here. It's going to be time for the double, finding yet another two-piece or more in this game. Trades galore on the hard point. Standpoint trying to force their way through, but Shishu comes in for the double to Tio with number 3. And again, temporarily, Standpoint unable to find their way through. Habzira, what can he do here? Annihilator in hand. This thing is absolutely bloody deadly. Can he find any frags of it? Looking for the second, indeed he will find it, but it's the War Machine from Time, and Standpoint look like they could finish it here.
Not enough time to get back over towards the point. They're going to try and sprint their way forward. Zyrax is trying to contest for the moment. 2 seconds left is all they're going to be able to find. And as the kill comes in, the War Machine saves them again.
249 Standpoint. They just need a second. One more frag will get it done. And Enchuan is going to be the one to grab it. Standpoint Gaming. How about that for an upset to kick this one off, Alex? 15-1 for TLE and Hardpoint going into that game. And then right there, right now, we see Standpoint just coming out with the upset. I mean, what a way to start this best of 3.
And this is the kind of the storyline that you have to build up from the ground up. It's why we talk so much at the top of the broadcast when we got into the gameplay of why this could be a potential upset alert for Standpoint. I mean, you have so many opportunities that are taken away when good team play comes into kind of the chemistry aspect of the game. And it was one of those things where either A, you're going to get caught off guard early on, or if you get out flat, the other team that's here to make a splash, make noise, they're going to be able to capitalize on that. And that's exactly what they did in that first map. There was a lot of things that came together. And I don't want to say it's a moment where they got flustered, but you always have to start a series hot. You have to make it and take every opponent like they're the next strongest person that you're going to be able to play. It seems like they came out a little flat in those opening moments. They got behind. And I really think that one crucial switch of everything was on that P4 hill when that north-south pinch play accumulated into them basically breaking within the first 5 seconds of that hill. I feel like that might have been the turning point in the game where things started to get out of hand.
I'm shocked in a way. I mean, this is God. We're going to be being accused of biased casters already, Alex. But it only takes one match, mate. But you know, again, I have to stress it. TLE coming into this tournament and coming into this match in particular, they kind of are very much favorites for this series. This would be a massive shock for Standpoint Gaming to come out and win in any way. And I think going into this series, you know, we kind of as casters always look for what are the ways for a team to kind of upset another, you know, what is the way into a victory here? And in this best of 3, I literally said, I wrote this down in my notes. I said, look, S&D, I think this is going to be 50-50, and we'll get into why in just a second here, but they've got to steal a respawn somewhere. They have just done exactly that. They've just taken away Hardpoint in what felt like an almost impossible situation. Now we look forward towards that S&D, and this is where we start to talk about kind of the records for these teams, because where are TLE weakest? S&D, right? Yep.
100%. I mean, TLE historically through at least stage 4, 3 and 7 in the mode respectively, and that simply isn't good enough. I mean, traditional COD, COD Mobile, whatever it may be, the one important thing in the series is that your S&Ds are going to matter more so than any other mode. Sure, respawns are great, and you have 3 respawns in a series. If you're a good respawn team, you can take that. But on any given Sunday, a team can come in, they can beat you in your best mode. Then you're looking at the S&Ds. If you don't have that clutch gene there, if you don't have any sort of repetition that you can show, hey, we are able to win at this game mode at any given point, that is where the best teams falter, and that is where upset alerts start. So the fact that you go down 0-1 to a team that is historically better than you at the search and destroy mode, unless there's a significant regain here, you sit back, you're like, all right, boys, hey, let's tee this one off for the one time. You're potentially looking at an 0-2 series in the very beginning, and let me tell you, that does not bode well on the international play scale, specifically in the Swiss.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to lose a match to... And again, this is not derogatory, so I'm not trying to upset any fans, all right? I'm not doing that in the first round of play, okay? I love everybody equally. You're all my favorite children. But, again, you lose to a roster like Standpoint. Not only does it affect the, you know, kind of your early Swiss performance, right? But overall, it is not a good start to this tournament. It would not be a good start. Regardless, though, Search and Destroy, that is coming up next. Again, we talked a little bit about the weaknesses of both this squads. It is worth saying that Search and Destroy is a weakness for both of these two teams. We look back towards the regular season. Again, it's 3 and 7 for TLE and 9 and 16 for Standpoint Gaming. Not great records when you look at it overall. But again, we go back to the LATAM finals. We saw TLE take on Loops. TLE won that 4-1, of course, as in any best of 7 with the double elimination brackets. They started off with a 1-0 advantage. They actually only played 4 maps. But of the 4 maps they played, the only one they lost was the Search and Destroy. That was a 7-2 victory to Loops. It was convincing. I watched it back earlier today, and it was just, there were so many moments where you could see just Loops just feeling really confident in themselves and TLE kind of looking flustered. Alex, there's been a little bit of time. We always talk kind of about preparation. Do you feel that there's kind of an opportunity here for TLE to watch that back, realize where they went wrong, kind of patch it up for today?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the best teams will always be able to not only hit a quick regain, but be able to find the subtle nuances in the moments where they are at their weakest. And that's what makes teams that much more, I guess, kind of scary going into international play, right? When you have the ability to, day to day or day over day, I should say, be able to fix up small little things, and it could just be as simple as small communication errors or not being able to take up as much space on the map that you're wanting. If you're able to change that, and these best teams are able to do just that, it should prove to be realistically a good amount of success very, very early on here. So I think the search and destroy is going to kind of shut down maybe some of the upset alerts. But again, it very much so is a mental thing. So if that map one shocked them a bit and they're not able to fully get that regain in before map two, it's all about the vibes. I mean, the vibes right now. I mean, look, dude, look at the pillows. I mean, I'd be comfy as hell. I'll be honest. Like, are you kidding
this reminds
me?
me of T-Real.
Dude, it's a crisscross, just pillow on the lap.
Yeah.
Oh my.
This reminds me so much of T-Real from challenges. Yeah, this is context for everybody at home. So obviously Alex and I, we get to discuss that quite a lot of I always call it like regular Call of Duty. I don't know what you would call it. Like, what do you call it? If Call of Duty Mobile.
Earlier I used the word traditional because that's kind of what I've known for years. Right. So it's like it's not to say that like they're two completely different things, because let's be completely candid here. Specialist is specialists are one of the most exciting things. So the fact that we have that in COD Mobile is already tickling me just a touch. But I think traditional is probably the best word to use to describe the distinction between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that was my material. I was going to say that the pillows and stuff. It's just like the world's comfiest gamer. That's what we're looking for here. But yeah, these guys. I'm really looking forward to kind of how the rest of the series goes. I think something that we do need to note here, and this is something we're going to be kind of drawing ourselves back to for basically the remainder of the day, is going to be the veto process. As we get into this map, I'm really curious as to what we're going to see. It's going to be firing range. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the way the veto process kind of broke down, that the first map was something where not TLE basically got to choose it. Standpoint got to choose it because we ended up on Summit, and that was one of their best hard points. So here on firing range, this is one of the better search and destroy maps for TLE. I imagine they'll be comfortable.
I mean, you can already see from Standpoint the entire map spread that they have right now. Bomb trying to work its way through the middle of the map at the moment, but realistically, they're kind of just stuck at the moment. A lot of utility going to be out, but trophy systems down from Standpoint are going to pretty much negate all the equipment being used. So this is going to be straight up one-on-one gunfights they're going to have to take here soon. But regardless, you're already down a man, so in a 4v5, going to be very difficult to even push one of the bomb sites. Yeah,
if I remember correctly here, and again, people can kind of rip me for the knowledge or lack thereof.
What is this lineup?
I think that A is the preferred bomb site on this one. We'll see whether or not that's the case, though. Certainly, it doesn't look like TLE went for it off the rip. See why I'm going to cook up a nade, as you say, mate. That lineup, that set nade does not work out. And, well, there's the equalizer that we wanted to see. Saucy going to live up to his name there with a snipe happening off screen. Time going to get taken down. And that's a lovely response coming out from Enchuan. From the middle of the map, we can see him on the mini-map. He manages to escape.
And this is what he did in the hard point. He was able to aggress himself further up, make it to where, TLE's never comfortable in the position that they're in. He was the top frag for a reason, and it just goes to show how much more confident the Standpoint roster is right now than TLE. You can see them kind of playing off the back foot here, wanting to make sure they can get that equalizer, but as soon as you get that equalizer, if the aggression from the defense is there, here comes the 1v2 in towards the hut. They're going to be able to find one, though. Double challenge slide in, going to be nice for at least the 3v3.
The is actually coming in here from Standpoint, though, and there it is from Enchuan. Should know that there's a second player in here. You can see the pinch pay coming out from Guagua and Enchuan to take that player down. Saucy, the last one left alive in the 1 versus 3 here, and, well, just doesn't happen. And right there, you can kind of see why, more often than not, you see fast aggression coming out from teams on the offense here on firing range, because of the fact that if you don't do that, if you find yourself giving away the mid-map positions to a roster like Standpoint, well, you end up with a situation where you're pushing late and don't really have any advantage.
Opportunity for the wall bang. Oh my, over the top, is able to at least get Mutil off the board. Still got the snipe over towards that bottom south lane. And you can see TLE, once again, kind of stuck, not knowing where they want to go. The execute over towards B, tries to hit out, but you get the first blood off the board, so now it's a 4v5 once again.
And once again, you can see kind of the wheel spinning for TLE here, right? I mean, what do you do? In this situation, you have to try and find a way to equalize the numbers. You've given up a lot more real estate as well, with Guagua pushing all the way up towards this lane as 2. There's got to be a way, and you've got to try and force it maybe with kind of a bait and switch play over by A. That doesn't happen because the TO is going to go down. Yet again, the numbers going even further in Standpoint's favor here, and TLE are just stuck.
Double snipes makes it a 4v3. You can see the last few players try to at least make some work over back by A, but I mean, there's still 4 players there, and Time finds a second for the round, so 2 versus 5. Just, I mean, you still got 50 seconds to make this work, but again, it's just the presence that Standpoint has on the map, how much space they're able to take up.
Look, Zyrax, G-Suit, you pull this one off, I'll love you forever. It would be a phenomenal 2v5, but we are asking for the world and quite a lot more here. Standpoint Gaming aren't resting on their laurels as well. You can already see they're pushing numbers around on the flank. Guagua and Bird about to go for the 2v2 challenge. Perhaps an opportunity to equalize the numbers here. If they're able to win at least one fight, it would be good. There's one. Guagua comes in for the second and the third. And just like that, second round now coming through from Standpoint.
I mean, it's the cleanup crew. You see the aggression from TLE towards the B bomb site. They want to find their way there. But once that first player, you know, falls off the board, it's not the question of can we find a trade. It was an immediate back off and a retreat back towards the A site. You're able to find the snipe this time, though, to give yourself the first blood, or sorry, the first blood of the game for yourself. You trade it back out, and now Sui's trying to find Zyrax in the corner.
Yeah, this is the reaction I wanted to see coming out from TLE. The fast-paced aggression straight towards the A site, but Guagua is even faster on the flank. He comes for 3. Now down to 1v1 to end the round, and Guagua's going to finish it off. That's a 4K for him here in this round. And I'll tell you what, mate, I love the reaction from TLE. They make the right play call. They recognize that, hey, we've been stuck in the mud for the last couple of rounds. Let's try and change things up for round number 3. But Standpoint know exactly how to answer that. That was beautifully done.
Guagua, the shining star here in the second map every round. Just being able to get aggressive into the face of TLE. Already up to 8. Leads the lobby by a fine margin. At least there's an A attempt here from TLE this time. He's 3 players now. All 5 of them just trying to just fly through the lane. You got a little set nade there, though, from Sui. So as he just backs off, the gunfight to challenge and contestant across the map. You're going to be able to pepper one up, but it's not enough. There's still players here.
Yeah, there goes Sui. 1 down. Trade is good, but the bomb's going to be down for the first time here in this game. Big kill coming out from Pabzera. He's recognized exactly where Guigu is, and he's actually going to get the bad timing on it. Surely would have realized and should have called out to his teammates, but the damage is already done here. Pabzera, maybe they don't know where he is. Maybe that's the advantage here for this 1 versus 2. These guys are going to be looking for him. Certainly the timing was there, but now they actually look. The heady is good for Pabzera. The best thing you can do in this situation is try and keep your head down, and Pabzera finds the double. Beautifully done. TLE finally have a round on the board. These adaptations are starting to get better round after round.
And I do like that chow there. Instead of sitting on the heady waiting for that push to come through, you wide swing to that left side. That's going to give at least 1 player momentum to win that 1v2 at the end. That gives you your first round on the board, and you can build off that. Now you see 4 players all flying over towards B. This is an easy gunfight with the 2 there. They find the first blood, the second one around the corner for the challenge. At least the trade comes through, but it's the bait and switch that works out, and now they have B.
Again, TLE starting to change the strategy up a little bit here. Nice read as well. Recognized exactly what was going to happen. It's happened to them a couple of times so far in this game. That late flank coming through. It's also going to miss the quick scope there towards the end, but it's okay because the rest of the teammates are there to pick up where he left off. I'm loving these last couple of rounds from TLE. Yeah. They seem to finally have their feet on the ground.
They do, and that's kind of the difference maker. It's like that aggression. You know, it's been the conversational topic since the first round of the Search and Destroy. When you play passive, you're only asking for the defense just to sit back and try to find those first bloods. When you're forcing the issue, throwing the smokes and flying down the middle of the map, it makes the world of a difference. Sure, it's a trade there that comes through, but it's a 4v4, and now you have space.
Yeah. If Saucy can find some more as well, it would be lovely. Said he's just going to scare some of these Standpoint players off. It is worth saying they are technically in a 3v4 after that nade from Time. A well-placed one at that. So they're trying to look to equalize the numbers before they can get this bomb down, because of course it's going to have to be a wide swing from them. Standpoint currently have control, but Saucy with the snipe. There it is. Now the gunfight's starting to go down on the point, and it's not in favor of TLE at all. Saucy, of course, had sniped off earlier, so they know more or less where he is. But I like the play from Standpoint. Yes, they're giving up real estate here, but they're playing together.
Be able to grab the bomb, get away with it. I mean, he doesn't realize that he has A for free. If he tries to rotate this back over towards B, he's going to be able to run into 2 players from Standpoint. Maybe you get good timing on the first, and the second one isn't able to challenge, but you should hear the footsteps here in a second. Challenge down for the first one. Can't snap to the second time there. They play it together. They win their 4th round, and finally, are able to at least stunt the growth of Gorillas, or excuse me, the side of TLE.
A little bit of a blind play coming out there in that 2v1. I think neither really had any idea what was going on for the other. Just trying to play together where Standpoint, Guagua and Time, very well played as well. Standpoint putting a stop to the momentum of TLE. We have now finally switched rounds here with Standpoint on the offense, and now they're doing exactly what TLE did them just a moment ago. Saucy firing all manner of shots through the smoke, but not many of them going to connect.
You get the bomb down. 40-second timer restriction on TLE to get back over towards the site. You got 3 players inside the mid building. You got to challenge out. Saucy's still in the back line with the sniper trying to work his way forward. Got a lot of opportunity to work with here. Snipe comes back. Trade 3v3 on the retake.
And Joan just using the bomb heady at the moment to try and play Pabzera and Zyrax like a fiddle. Zyrax, not a chance. Not on your Nelly, mate. Now Pabzera, I mean, really the only one who can do anything in this situation. You've got to reserve 5 seconds for the bomb defusal here. There's the shots from Ensua on the flank being tightly watched by Time as well. And Standpoint, after what was a struggling start for TLE on the offense, they waste no time whatsoever winning their first offensive effort.
They got over to A so quickly. I mean, you went 1 for 1 in the first gunfight. Sure, it was cool. You had Time in the back building. They're not playing nearly as far up the map as this Standpoint Gaming was on the defensive end. And now Guagua is able to push up the map for another 2. He's up to 14 kills here in this S&D.
Goodness gracious. Great play coming out from him. Time also on 10. Those players have been instrumental in getting Standpoint to where they're at this moment. Gonna get the bomb down. Numbers here. Zyrax has to pull something off on this approach towards the heart, and indeed he will. That's going to be 1 kill. No immediate trade, but on the escape effort, Time is going to catch him off guard. And now Saucy, I mean, you know Saucy's going to have a sniper in this play. He could probably just rush him super quick, and imagine that's probably what's going to happen here. Saucy not being given anything, though. Guagua finally going for it. You kind of knew, right? You could see Guagua is like, this man has been so fast-paced throughout the entirety of this S&D so far. You knew that he was going to pop off there.
I thought for just like maybe half stretch to the imagination that a Kalak could have came in right there. He was sliding across the screen. But I mean, realistically, Saucy's just playing back American the entire time with the sniper. And it can work when you're trying to hold off the middle of the map. But when there's nothing else to work upon and your team is losing gunfights on the opposite side, it's not great. But you're able to find 1 wallbang shot. You take the first blood down. Now you give yourselves a 5v4. But we've seen the situation multiple times for TLE. They haven't been able to capitalize.
Yeah, I will say this is a little bit different, though. Standpoint, I mean, they've clearly been pushed away from the A site. That initial kind of offensive effort that we've seen them go fast-paced on before. It hasn't happened this time around. I don't know if it was because of set nays that were well placed by TLE. Certainly there was a smoke put down, but regardless, you lose a life, Standpoint, and now they're back kind of to where TLE were for the first few offensive rounds of this search and destroy. Here's the adaptation, though. Do they check their corners? That's going to be the question for me. Yes, they do. Tio's going to go down, and Saucy's already out of the play. He's moved away from that sniper spot. He's given up the bomb site.
And when you allow that to happen for free, not only do you get it backed off, but you see Time as the sniper on the op end, so you retaliate. You take the most important power position away from TLE, and this is going to allow not only to have full control of this A site, but Guagua's up and pushing once again. You get the trade, but he's up to 16, and it's a 3v2.
And numbers in favor of Standpoint. 1 more search and destroy round to win this best of 3 and pull off what I feel at least is the first big upset here at the Call of Duty Mobile World Championships. Jusu gonna take 1 down, though. Make this a 2v2. They've got to make decisions fast. And there's no real time for a flank, so they've got to go straight through the caravan. Can they get it done? That's the question on the bomb site. It's going to be Siwan. Now the 1v1. Can Zyrax pull it off? That's the question. Time just needs to waste it. And he's going to go down. The time for the defusal is good. TLE, by the skin of their teeth, survive.
That's about as close as it's going to get. But you're still down by 3 rounds. And lucky number 7, Standpoint still at match point. But at least you keep yourselves alive. The momentum came last time you were able to win a round. You won back-to-back. Concurrent, it was the name of the game. But, I mean, you can see the dedication and want to get this back over towards the A site. Really no kind of set plays from Standpoint to get over on that B site. You've already got 1 taken off the board. Guagua, once again, the shining star of Standpoint, getting aggressive, finding the first blood. Now they're on the A site for free yet again. Bomb should be going down. It should be a 45-second restriction here.
Yeah, Standpoint trying not to make the same mistake they did last time around. TLE are also, should be said, pretty splintered here. They're looking for individual one-on-one pickoffs, and it's 3v3. 1v2 could be disastrous if they're not able to convert for a double, but on the flank, Pabzera wins his. I'm going to be down. Now Zyrex feels that space garnered is good enough for the push, and hesitancy will not play off. Then Juan goes down in the end, though, on the trade from Pabzera. Now the 1v1 as Bird takes down Saucy. Pabzera versus Bird. Bird gets some initial shots in. Pabzera will be weak for the fight. He's not on the defuse yet. Bird just trying to run away. And again, for the second round in a row, it comes down to a 1v1 with just over 5 seconds on the clock. Again, that is enough time for defuse.
Mere shavings to be able to walk away with these rounds. But again, it just goes to show that although you have 45 seconds, it can come down to the final just few. Every single time TLE has been put backs against the wall, they've been able to respond. Hardpoint didn't go their way. The search and destroy needed to be the one where they turned it around. Sure, you're still down by 2 rounds, but you're starting to streak just a touch. And now you have a lot of spread on the map at the moment. The flank starting to maybe kind of force its way on the back end. B-bomb, clear completely. TLE, once again, though, need to be careful because the A hit's coming.
It's coming fast as well. Smoke's going to provide enough coverage here. There'll probably be some blind snipe shots from Saucy. There, the bomb goes down. And now, third time's the charm. TLE, can they pull off the retake once again? It's a good start with time going down for the count. And Chuan's probably going to be kind of the immediate threat on the bomb site, though. And those initial shots into the TO are actually followed up by a frag. Does he get away? Yes, he does.
And just know it's there for the trade. You lose 2 players in the middle of the map, and now it's a 3 versus 3, and this one's going to be even more difficult of a retake. However, here comes the flanker on the backside. You have one in the shed directly in front of Juan, but he's looking for it. So he needs to push around the corner. He's got the chow from the right-hand side. Saucy's going to be able to commit on it. 14 seconds left. 1 player left alive. Saucy finds it with the pistol. And once again, the defuse comes through. I love the retakes that TLE are able to commit to, but they are letting this bomb go down basically for free every time.
Yeah, I think, again, I mean, you talk about those retakes and how good they are at it at this point in time. At Standpoint, they're doing the right things on the offense, right? I mean, they're getting the bomb down pretty much every single time. They're very confident in that. The set smokes, I don't know if you can call them set smokes, are pretty good. Oh, Saucy! There is no way you pull that off. I wasn't even caring about it because I was like, there's no way he does this. But Saucy opens the round off with a banger double, and TLE immediately have the round advantage. We were talking about Standpoint getting the bomb down easily every single time. They're certainly not getting it down now.
I mean, he's tried it every round. He had to find at least one at some point in the game. That time, Standpoint gifted to it for free. So now in a 5v3, this is where things get very difficult. But I'm not 100% sure. The 5-arrow was able to spot both of them out. However, he's able to find the first blood. Snaps back, pops away. You realize that Bird's still here. 2 versus 4. You're able to find it if you are Bird. So it makes it a bit easier here, but you're by yourself. You're isolated. 4 arrows not flying your way, and Time's by himself with the sniper on A.
Hey, look, I've seen COD Mobile players do disgusting things with these sniper rifles, mate. I ain't counting anybody out at this point.
Oh, he spotted him up top.
1 kill at a time. All right, just try and isolate these players if you can. Get a kill. Don't get traded. You'll be all right. It's worth saying, to be fair, TLE, with all kind of the lanes that they're watching at this point in time, it is still possible for time to find something. But I hate keep on saying the word time, but it is pretty relevant in this situation. Time is running out for time to do something here in this play. I mean, he's in a 1v4. Bomb is in no man's land. It's just not really a lot of options in this play.
I mean, he's moving forward, but he's yet to find anybody. And credit to TLE, they're not giving him an opportunity to find that first pick to allow it to be any easier. But regardless, we'll see Pab at the top. He's got the sniper rifle out, and all of a sudden, what was a 6-2 game is now tied up at 6 apiece. Clutch plays from TLE at the end of a few rounds are able to get them back. Momentum on their side by clear favorite. It's time for a time for a win by 2.
Yep. Overtime we go. Reminder, folks. Got a win by 2 here, so now it's first to 8 instead of first to 7. TLE, back to offense they go. Maybe push towards B this time around. So Time not going to get a lot of action in the middle of the map. A lot of it is actually going to be going down over by Guagua and Chuan. Yeah, that push goes. We're going to see it on the minimap, see what happens here in the play. And maybe TLE actually thinking better of it here. They might have made a lot of noise with some utility over by B, but it feels like Standpoint are kind of unfazed.
Well, I think what happened there is the stunted push. They try to get aggressive towards B early on. They're kind of worried that a kind of a flank play is going to start to formulate here from Standpoint. They wanted to watch their backs, but you still have 2 and 3 pushed up by the B bomb. But now the full wrap back and a potential commit towards the middle of the map should be on. Realistically, obviously, you have no idea where Standpoint's going to be playing this if you are on the offensive end. But I mean, you still have 2 players trying to find a round, and the slide from Guagua is going to get him up to 19. He's been quiet the last few rounds, but now as Juan's able to find another one, Saucy will fall, and it's 3 players that go down immediately. TLE indecisive, and it costs him.
Yep. There goes Zyrex too. Time with the sniper. Susu trying to make this round theirs, and it will not happen. Standpoint, finally, after so many rounds of giving it away to TLE, they are back on the board here. Oh, another round to their name. Maybe that will give them the confidence to close out this search and destroy in this series in this round. Now they are back on the offense.
On the defense, has proven to be the best for TLE and for Standpoint, respectively. Offensive hits, when they've been working, have been aggressive, concise, and planned to a touch. Set nades have worked beforehand. Can Guagua find another one here? Just trying to get some information here with a bit of lethal and tactical play. As you're finding your way over towards A, this is the hit that worked for them so many times beforehand. Wallbangs won't find anybody. You have information that this site is basically free, and you should be able to plant this one once again with nobody here for contention.
The bomb will certainly go down, but I'm curious as to what the reaction will be like from TLE. There's the first. Set nade from Shisu will take out Inchuan. Saucy with the snipe on towards time as well. Now we find ourselves in the 3v5. Now maybe the 3v4 as Suwon comes out. Guagua picks up yet another one. Turns and burns onto Zyrax. Inside the caravan. They've got to try and find an entry point into this one because these players can just sit inside this little hut, watch over the bomb, feeling pretty safe about it. And time running down here in this 2v3. Can they get anything done? Saucy with the sniper rifle will take Guagua out of the play. Shisu on the other side for 1, and surely not again here. Siswan has no choice but to run out towards the site. Saucy is going to get the defuse. And how many times are we going to see this happen, Alex? Once again, TLE managed to make a retake work.
I mean, usually deja vu only happens once, maybe twice. But for the 4th or 5th time this game, TLE's been able to commit to a retake. I thought surely after they lost that 3rd player and it came a 3 versus 2 for the team that had the bomb down on A, it was surely going to be all but over. Now some set nades and a very slow push on offense allows us to have TLE live to see another round. For how long will they be able to keep up this effort? You can see Standpoint trying to get aggressive on A. I mean, you've also got Guagua up in the middle of the map. Could be the difference maker.
Yeah. Would not surprise me if he's the player that catches people off guard. I mean, he certainly has been so far, the Search and Destroyer at 20 kills. Could definitely be the instigator in the play, but TLE have their heart set on a B push.
Oh.
There's the reaction coming through from Guagua, now pushing down, and time will key catches Saucy off guard in the middle of the map, so that would have been the secret weapon from TLE. It's now off the board. GC, though, towards the site, takes Guagua down. Still looking to get this bomb down. Bird really the only player for the moment that's actually stopping it from happening. They want to take him out before they make their move.
And he needs to be careful, because if they commit to a double slide challenge around the right-hand side, sure, you have time with a sniper trying to look over the top, but if you lose this position here close, could spell trouble for the rest of the round. Shot not going to be able to connect. Bird weakened up. Can't peek around the corner just yet. Knows he needs to stay alive to allow the rest of the team to find an angle, but there's what I was talking about. The double challenge around the right side to the long lane by Tires. Cuts them down. Now it's a 4 versus 3, and the wrap could be all the way back over towards A.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen, right? TLE, they're going to make this wrap happen. The question for me now is how quickly does Standpoint actually realize this is the case? You can see the reaction coming through from time. He's going to give it a little cheeky check. Does he stay there? How much can he do? How much damage can he do here to the 3 players making this rotation? Nothing, because he looks away for a reposition. The bomb is already going down. So once again here, we're looking for a retake. And Enchuan is going to open things up with that kill. Surely not a second time. He's going to be the one to pick it up. And very quickly, it's Pabsera here and Zyrex left up in the 2 versus 3.
And they're split so far across. There's not an opportunity for a trade, but it could be. 5 gets a good trade on the backhand side. You're able to get good timing on the time. So Zyrax is able to find one. Pab, 1 shot on the back end. 24 seconds to get back over towards the site. All that is Zyrax here. Isolate the gunfight out in the middle. Swaps to the knives. He had the melee out, but now he can turn back around. All of a sudden, it becomes a 1 versus 1 on top of the bomb. Needs a challenge out. 12 seconds left in the round. Zyrax goes for the challenge, isn't able to find it. And history rewrites itself as Standpoint's able to flip the script and give TLE a taste of their own medicine.
There it is. Standpoint the ones to make it happen this time around. What a monumental 1v1. He was on the bomb. He forced the hand of the last remaining player from TLE. Come chow me, says C1. And that chow does not work out in the challenger's favor as he is going to win that round. The big 1v1. And now Standpoint find themselves in the lead once again. Can they close things out this time around on this offensive effort towards B? It does once again feel like it's going to be close. A slow one. And that's going to give TLE all the positioning here to play things kind of slowly on the defense.
I mean, they should at least get information that the aggressive hit that they've been defaulting to on A isn't going to be here this time. And you can see Tetchison mid-map. I mean, he's reacting to everything that's happening at the moment. You know, not too aggressive to challenge out towards B to allow the mid-map to be open for free, but he's ready there just in case. Hab needs a little bit of help over at B. Call out should be here, though, that Sui has started to push up just a touch. He's got the car head glitch. He's got power positions to work with, and now out towards Tires. It's going to be on TLE to retake.
There's a kill starting to come through from Suwan and Unchuan. Things not looking good here for the last 3 remaining players on TLE. This bomb will go down whether they like it or not. For me, it has to be a retake. It has to be a fast retake at that. There is that bomb plant. First player to instigate here should be Shisu. And if I'm him, I do not do this alone. This has to be a well-timed push, and instead they allow C1 to do this!
No.
They allow C1 to do this! 2 kills he shouldn't have got. Enchuan will put the final nail in the coffin as Standpoint Gaming come out and win the search and destroy in what we believe is a best-of-3 victory for them. A shocker to kick off the Swiss stage.
Wow. I mean, I mean, you want to talk about storylines at the beginning of the tournament? I mean, you and I, obviously, as casters, we talk about our series that we're going to be kind of taking on throughout the day. TLE Standpoint is one that we kind of, didn't have kind of chalked up as like, hey, we have a star next to this one. This could be a really big upset. We kind of expected it to play out as most people did. We thought TLE, hey, they're probably going to be able to take this one pretty handedly. Move on with a nice record inside of the Swiss, and Standpoint is probably going to be out to fighting for the back burner kind of for the rest of the day and for kind of the rest of their tournament. But this completely changes how we not only have to look at this Standpoint roster, but how we have to kind of shape up TLE. Now it's going to be very much so the pressure on them to not only essentially win out the rest of the Swiss, but be able to kind of rectify the things that have gone wrong so far. Standpoint has looked phenomenal. I mean, let's just talk back that first hard point for kind of context of this whole series, right? Not only do you come into that and those first couple of breaks, you look good. Okay, usually, both teams are going to be kind of scrappy at the beginning. It's very seldom do you see one team just kind of wipe from start to finish. But it was the fact that Standpoint not only was able to break early and often in that game. I brought the point up beforehand about that P4 hold in the back satellite spawn on that map. And realistically, what ends up happening, you have that north-south break. I thought that surely TLE was going to be able to hold that. They had those close spawns there. But once one player went down, they had specialists to be able to break on in. They find themselves a good 45 seconds there. They build themselves about a 60-point lead. And from that point on, they really never looked back.
Yeah, just an incredible start here from Standpoint Gaming. Well, they're now 2-0 against their opposition. TLE have been taken for a ride in the first couple of maps here in this first round of Swiss stage. We've got more Call of Duty action coming from the Call of Duty Mobile World Championships. Don't go far, folks. We'll be back after this break. What's going on, everybody? We're on board with Standpoint and TLE on Search and Destroy.
I think I know what happened.
Wait.
Remember that round where you like challenged the corner out to the left, but he was standing in?
Oh, dude, you've got a better memory than me. I'll tell you that much for free. It's just like, what the heck are you on about? All right, guys. Nobody be upset because the casters don't have anything to do with this. But we are replaying what I assume to be the final round, and TLE is 8-7 up. No, they're not. It's flipped. Standpoint at 8-7 up. We'll go with it. Standpoint now looking for another kill kit. They're trying to close things out once again, and it looks like they're probably going to do it.
Yeah, colors are flipped, but Chuan on the bomb. Saucy, as you see, back American with the sniper once again. You can see Zyrex trying to challenge out, but with 15 seconds left, you just got to fly your way forward. Challenge out to the right side and double there to end it off. And we're at the same scoreline as we saw the last time, just sides flipped. Or sorry, I should say sights flipped.
Very good. Thank you for that, Alex. Insatiable gameplay. I really don't know what... We've done all our analysis. I don't want to do it again.
Welcome back!
Welcome back, everybody, to the exact same scoreline as we saw before. Conversations are now being had, and there seems to be a bit of confusion, I think, from what I believe to be TLE. So I'm really not sure what will happen. Alas, I'll try again. Look, maybe there'll be a third attempt at a replay here. Maybe something else will happen. Alas, it looks like Standpoint have actually beaten TLE this time. That seems to be the case. We'll keep you guys updated on exactly what's happening. But of course, because we've already done our analysis, we've already done a whole spiel as to why TLE got rocked in the first match of the day in that best of 3. We're going to go to a break. I'm really sorry. You guys, get yourself settled in. I know not everybody drinks tea and biscuits around the world, but get yourself a cup of tea. Get yourself a couple of bickies. We'll be ready to go. Be back with more Call of Duty in just a second.